I want to talk real quick about what makes a bad dancer, because I watched people for the first year or two and I was like, why can I just tell that they are terrible, but I don't know what it is about them? And then I can watch these people and say, wow, they're really good, but I don't know why. And the answer is, if you're anything like me, you started out DJing and you had no idea what to do with your feet, with your hands, or even what made a good dancer. So in this video, I've got 10 tips for you, 10 dance skills that you can work on that I've gained over the last 6 years, 7 years of studying people on the dance floor. I've learned what works, what doesn't work, and at the end of this video, I've got a game for you to play to figure out what your style is and what is going to be the best vibe for you on your dance floors, because you've got to be comfortable at the end of the day. And if you're not, it's going to come across like you're faking it, and it's going to be cheesy. It's not going to work. So let's get straight to the 10 tips. These are moves that you can use. You're going to put them out on your dance floor, but you got to practice these because you want them to come naturally. I've made them in an easy way that you can follow. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to dance them for you. I'm going to show you what to do away from the controller so that when you're behind it, you can look like a pro. Let's get to number 1. Dancing is all about counting. So as long as you can count 1, 2, 3, 4 in the measure, we're good. But there's one other thing that you got to look for, and that's the 2 and the 4. If you can isolate the claps, the snare drums, just like in this song, they gave it to us. That's everything. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Now, if you can do that, great. If you can't, go watch other videos on how to count into a measure. That's the basics of what we're going to need here. If you can do that, let's move forward. All right, so check this out. You've got your feet on the base. They're shoulder width apart. You're going to move your right foot in and then back out. But you got to do it on the 2 and on the 4. So we're listening for these claps. Ready? In on each clap. Ready? 1, in, 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 in. That's so easy. In, out, in. That's all you got to do. Now from there, I want you to walk around your house because you can walk all over the dance floor with this. Just do it right. Out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. I want you to practice this with the beat. As long as you can move around with this cadence. Out, in. Just make sure the ins are on the 2 and the 4. Out, in, so easy. Okay? In. Moving forward. I want to talk real quick about what makes a bad dancer, because I watched people for the first year or two and I was like, why can I just tell that they are terrible, but I don't know what it is about them? And then I can watch these people and say, wow, they're really good, but I don't know why. And the answer is stationary feet. That's why I just taught you the out in, because the people who suck at dancing, their feet are glued to the floor and they're just doing this. They're bobbing with their bodies, but their feet don't move at all. And they just look so awkward because it's like, dude, you got to be able to move your feet. And that's what I realized is the one thing that makes a bad dancer and separates them from anybody who knows what they're doing. If you could just move in, out, in. Look at the difference. I'm just so much more comfortable. You can just get on a dance floor, just do this, out, in, out, in. I mean, dude, you're already 9 times better than the dude who's freaking out up in his torso, but he's not moving his feet. All right, moving on. So what do I do with my hands? Well, I actually dated a professional dancer one time and I asked her that question and she said, you need to carve air. I didn't understand what she meant, so let me show you. This motion is carving air. I want you to imagine that the air around you is like jello, and I just want you to carve your hands through it. No matter what motions you do with your hands, imagine that you're carving the air. And it really works with slow vibes like this. All right, all I'm doing is imagining that I'm carving through the air. Now, if you add that to the out in that we just did with the feet, watch what happens. 2, 3, 4. I'm listening for the 2, 4. Listen for the claps. In, now I'm carving air. And you don't have to have your hands out. You can have a fist or whatever, but just that motion of carving through the air, for some reason, that helped me completely. Just understand exactly what I needed to do. And you'll notice that my feet in, out, in, they have not moved. And again, I can go all the way around the dance floor. Doesn't matter. And I'm just carving air. In, out, in. You got this, moving on. All right, let's talk about bobbing your head. You know, this isn't as intuitive as you think it will be. There's two ways to do this. You can do it on the quarter notes, down on the quarter notes, or a different way. If it's a straightforward rhythm like this, it's kind of like a rock beat. Yeah, we're bobbing our head down on the quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, down, 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 down. That makes sense on like rock beats, heavy beats, energetic beats. Okay? Things with the guitar, for the most part, like a distorted guitar like that. But what if I gave you a song like this? When this beat kicks in, I want you to try to do this with me. We're gonna go up. We're gonna do a reverse head bob. We're gonna go up on the down notes, up on the quarter notes. All right, so let's find the quarter notes. There's that clap again. Remember that's on a 2 and a 4? 1, 2, 3. Now, a regular head bob, we go down, 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 down. But we're gonna go reverse. Up, 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 up. Yeah. There's a reverse head bob. And you want to do this on beats that are like chill vibes like this. And now it's just coming in. Regular head bob. Because it got heavier. But if you go back to the beginning, I'd probably reverse head bob this to get a right vibe going. This works for like R&B. It's a reverse bob. And it's hard at first. It doesn't come naturally. Because your brain's going to want to go down on the quarter notes. We're not going to do that. We're going up, 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 up. All right. As the beat drops, we'll probably switch to a regular bob. Here we go. Regular. Now I'm going down on the quarter notes. Feel me? You guys got this. Oh, we're moving. Okay, you guys are starting to get this, so let's put this together and start giving you some more complex moves. This one is going to be called the 4 slide. Now that you can count confidently and find those 2s and the 4s, we're going to do something on that 4 to transition into the 1 as the beat drops. All right, so in this song, it's pretty fun because there's a beat drop of a whole measure. So we're going to do something on the 4 and then transition to the 1. Watch this. All right. Now remember we're doing out, in, easy. But what I'm going to do is once it gets to the 4, I'm going to do a big slide over to wherever I want to go. Let's say I want to go over there. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that slide? On 4, you slide to a new spot. Very simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay? Let's do it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. See how that transitions so easily? Oh God, it's smooth, man. Smooth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Call it a 4 slide. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5. So easy. But what about the cross 180? Because we can do that too. As this beat drops, we're going to do a jump on the 4 and spin to the 1. Watch, I'm going to show you something. Okay? Sometimes when things are building, it's cool to like put your back to everybody confidently. Keep vibing. Maybe you've got a reverse head bob going. Okay? Things are happening. And instead of just turning around like that, there's another way that we can do that with a whole lot more effect. So check this out. What we're going to end up doing is we're going to just cross our feet, 1 foot over the other like that. We're going to jump to that so we land on it on the 4. So it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, land. You can do that. Ready? 1, 2, 3, land. Okay? Now let's go back and put it in. Watch what happens. I'm turned around. I'm looking away from everybody. The crowd is behind me. You're watching me. My back is to you. I'm going to land this cross on the 4 and then spin out of it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woohoo! All right, because what happens is once you cross that foot, your body naturally wants to spin open. You can only go one way. You can't go this way. So whichever way that you did it, let your body naturally open up. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, land, spin. So simple, and then you go right back to your base. In, out, in, in, in. Now I'm moving around. And as I get my back to everyone, wait for that 4. 1, 2, 3, and spin. Too easy. Now you might be doing some cultural events where you are working with either Hispanic folks or Indian folks love to dance, and there's 2 different ways to go about this. I'm going to show you something that you can do so you at least have something to fall back on with Hispanic music, and the same thing with Indian, Hindu music, because I'm telling you, both cultures love to dance, and if you can show that you know how to dance, not just like your own culture, but like kind of into theirs, and you're getting into what they're doing, I'm telling you, I see people all the time from other cultures watching me as a white guy do that, and they're like looking at me from across the room, and they're like, dude, yes, you're doing it. You know, and as long as you're trying and you're confident about it, that's cool. I mean, you're trying to be a part of the night. You just gotta have a little something to know what to do. So let me show you. We'll start out with this beat, something like this. It's kind of, I call it a Hispanic 2-step. So 1 and 2. Okay, so 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And we're gonna, that's really just anywhere you go, as long as you do that with your feet, it kind of gives you that 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. I'm telling you, it's all about the feet. As long as you just do that, that's enough to kind of get you into the vibe of this music. The other thing is if it's an Indian culture, Hindu music, I had someone from that culture tell me one time that the best way to describe the way that is very common to dance in that culture is to imagine yourself screwing in or unscrewing light bulbs above you with your hands. There's a lot of that hand motion. And I remember doing this at a wedding, and I'm telling you, people from across the room were like, yeah, he's doing it. Okay, you're just unscrewing light bulbs from side to side. And you'll see my feet are moving too. I am never doing this stationary. That just looks like, I don't know, looks like I'm imaginary juggling, right? 1, 2, I'm just stepping with the counter, with the quarter notes. So that's something you can do with either Hispanic music, Indian cultures. If you can throw that into the mix, it's just gonna put you a little bit above the next guy who didn't know how to do that. All right, now this next one's tough, but you can do it as long as you can count and you've got some energy in you because it's gonna take some out. This is a leg kick. You wanna kick on 2 and 4. Again, the magic numbers. So what we're gonna do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. If you can drop back from behind your booth or come out in front of your booth and start doing something like this on the swing, that's it. Just remember, after a song like this, you're probably going to need to slow down the rhythm because people are going to be really tired. But when they see you back behind your booth doing that, it's like, man, that guy's having so much fun. I want to go out there and join them. And they do. Okay, what about line dances? Because a lot of people out there, they're like, oh, they're so corny. They are what they are. They get a lot of people out on the dance floor, and some couples just really love to do them. So if you're the DJ and you don't have a clue how to do them, like, what are you doing? Right? It's like a conductor who doesn't play one of the instruments in the orchestra. Like, you gotta know what you're doing out here, especially if you expect everybody else to do it with you. So with the Cupid Shuffle, I'm gonna do it to a song that's not gonna get me demonetized. But it's literally just to the right, to the left, kick, and turn. So if you're uncomfortable doing that, well, so is everybody else gonna be. So why don't you show everybody when you hit Cupid Shuffle, you press play on it, go out to the dance floor, and you start leading it. It's very simple. And what they would do is, to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right. So easy. To the left, 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 left. Now kick, I just taught you that. Kick, 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 and turn. And then I'll run to the front of the new square and I'll start to the right, and I'll do the whole square. I'll go all the way over there, do the whole thing, I'll turn, come over here, do the whole thing until I get back to my DJ booth. And then everybody's got it and they know what to do and the whole dance floor is packed. Yes, it's a little bit corny, but if the dance floor calls for it, if people are asking for it and the couple didn't put it on the don't playlist, I'm telling you, man, learn these line dances. Because when you get out and show everyone, they're like, oh my God, the DJ came out and did it with us. I get that on my reviews all the time. Helps immensely. Learn the Cupid Shuffle, learn the wobble, learn the electric slide. Cha-cha slide's easy because it tells you what to do. Moving on. Okay, this one's called the baby stomp. And I've coined this, I don't know what else to call it, but when a beat comes on and it's got just big energy, right? I will mimic that energy with a big baby stomp, like I'm a big 2-year-old. I just start stomping. And I'm confidently looking around. But I'm just stomping on the quarter notes. My shoulders are big, my chest is out, and I'm puffing around like I'm a 3-year-old who just got his candy. I'm like, yeah. Because that's what they are on the dance floor. They're drunk, they're at about an 8-year-old mindset. And you're giving them what they want, so just give it to them. I call this the baby stomp. I just pretend I'm an infant who's very happy, very confident, and I'm just stomping. This probably hurts my knees more than anything after the end of the night, because I'm stomping into the ground, but people feel it, man. Baby stomp. It's cool to come out of that with a jump too, and then start, you're out and in. Anything you do, do it on the floor. The transition, just like that. With that baby stomp, I'll even get down here like this if somebody's close to me. Awesome. Okay, here's the secret dance. Now this is the one I'm gonna say with a little bit of a caveat because if you do this wrong, you're gonna come across like a creep. So you better know that you're gonna be able to pull this off. Now we've all seen like the Michelle Tanner, like the hands up doing this, right? And it's fun. If you can find somebody who looks like they're having a good time, but is a little nervous to go out onto the dance floor, but they're having a good time at their table. You can see they're like tapping their feet and they're having fun with their friends, but they're a little bit anxious. There's usually one type of person that's like that at each dance floor. I'll find that person and I will go sneak up behind them and start doing this right behind them on the beat. And everybody else who can seize it starts cracking up. And then the person turns around, they're like, holy hell. And as soon as they get surprised, I laugh and I run away. And it just turns into like this cute, like fun thing that the DJ did, but you've got to make sure that you do that to somebody that you know is going to receive it well. If it's somebody who's like awkward and just sitting at their table and not having a good time, that is not who we're talking about here. We're talking about somebody who's having a good time, they're just not out on the dance floor. Or maybe they're just out on the dance floor and they're freaking out. You just want to give them some attention because they're killing it out there. You just go out on them and you just go like this for like 3 seconds until they realize that you're there and they start laughing and you just run away. You're not hitting on them. You're not humping their leg. You're not freaking them or freaking on them. Like you're just doing a fun thing with them. And you're showing that you're having a good time. It's a way to glue the room together. But if you do it wrong, it'll cringily pull the room apart. So that's the one I will say. You better know what you're doing. You better make sure that you choose the right person to do that to if you're going to do it. But if you do it right, oh man, the risk is so worth the reward. All right, so let's play a game. I promised you this. It was coming at the end to figure out what's the best style for you. At the end of the day, you're the conductor. You're letting the band know when to play their instruments, except your band is a bunch of people who are dancing, and the instruments is their feet. They've got to know when to land, when to do things. They've got to know what's coming up. The audience feels what you feel. I teach that all the time to any musician that I'm teaching, whether it's DJs, drums, piano, whatever. So the audience is going to feel whatever you feel. Think about when you're listening to a toast and the person's talking and they get awkward because you can tell they're nervous, and what do you feel? You feel their nerves. When somebody gets up on a microphone and they're talking and they're just killing it, they're absolutely confident, you feel calm, cool, and collected. So if you're the person on stage, you've got to set the vibe with yourself first. And this is the game. I want you to imagine the most amazing event that you have ever worked in your life. Whether it's a wedding, it's a party, it's a festival, whatever. I want you to really visualize it. Okay, what does it look like? What are the people doing? What do the faces look like? How many smiles? What does it really feel like? Now that you can really see that epic show that you just performed, I want you to come up with 3 words that describe the overall vibe of that night. Just put them in your head. What 3 words can you say describe the most epic night that you've ever hypothetically performed? You got them? Now I want you to remember these 3 words. Okay, go write them down, because you have to remember that if you don't feel these 3 words before you step on the stage, your crowd isn't going to either. It's all coming through you. You're the conduit. So if you're not feeling them, then neither will your crowd. For your own help, my 3 words are energetic, inclusive, and smiling. I see a lot of people smiling whenever I envision this. I see a lot of energy, and I see a lot of positivity, and I see everybody involving everybody. Nobody's feeling left out. Energetic, inclusive, smiling. I remind myself of that every time before I go on stage. And I got to make sure that that's the vibe that I'm feeling so that it's coming out of me and into the dance floor. I truly hope this helped you all today. And if you didn't get it all on the first try, that's okay. This is something that you've got to practice. So make sure you bookmark this video, go back, watch it again, and practice these moves so that they come out without having to think about it. Remember, on the controller, you practice so much so that you get to the point when you want to loop something, you don't think, how do I loop? You just go and loop it. You don't think, how do I beat juggle? You just juggle the beat. You got to get like that with these moves too. So practice on your own, practice when nobody's looking, to the point that once the music comes on, you just start doing them. They just start coming naturally. And whenever I'm around a dance floor, I can't help but start doing in, out. I just can't help it. I know that it's the one thing that differentiates a crappy dancer from a good one. And my brain just starts doing it. And then so do my feet, and everything else follows. Good luck. Have fun. Put your questions in the comments. And make sure you subscribe for more.